Hello, I'm Per. In this video I'm going to talk about the dry martini cocktail and how to make the perfect one. I see a need for a more informed and serious discussion on this most important topic. The dry martini evolved from the older gin and French, which had a lot more vermouth than the dry martini as we know it. The recipe says you should use dry French vermouth, so the name should have nothing to do with the Italian vermouth brand Martini or Martini and Rossi, although there seems to be quite a lot of confusion about this. One theory is that the dry martini was invented by and named after a certain Martini the Arma di Taggia, a bartender who worked at the Knickerbocker Hotel in New York in the early 20th century. In the 1920s, the dry martini had become popular. Over the course of the 20th century, the amount or share of vermouth in the cocktail has steadily declined. From the time of World War II and until today, 1 part of vermouth with 6 parts of gin has been the standard, although far more extreme ratios have been suggested. There is also the vodka martini, invented by the Smirnoff Corporation and popularized by Agent 007 James Bond, for example in the movie Dr. No. I can sometimes have a vodka martini for variety, but this is not some kind of dry martini. The vodka martini is a different drink, and vodka can never replace gin in this context. Someone said martinis should be stirred so that you do not damage the molecules. I think it really doesn't matter whether you shake or stir them. A more important question is whether or not to use ice. It is a common practice to shake or stir martinis with lots of ice, and some people even want their martinis on the rocks. Shaking or stirring martinis with lots of ice or serving them on the rocks will result in a drink that is diluted, weak, and boring. It's up to you, of course, but I prefer to avoid the use of ice completely. I always put the gin in the freezer a while before preparing the drink. I suggest that you also put the cocktail shaker or the mixing glass, whichever you prefer to use, in the freezer, as well as the glass you're going to drink from. This way, the cocktail becomes cold enough without the use of ice. When I order martinis in bars in the United States, I often get the question, olive or twist? And my answer is always both, please. I mean, why should you have to choose? Lemon peel adds fresh aroma to the drink, while the olive is for that salty bite, so you're going to need both for a perfect dry martini. Here's what you're going to need. A bottle of London dry gin, of course, a bottle of dry French vermouth, a lemon, and a jar of olives. Try to find some big ones at the grocery store. First, the gin. My personal favorite is Tanqueray. I think it's lovely by itself, in long drinks such as gin and tonic or Tom Collins, and in cocktails. It has a perfectly balanced taste with just the right juniper notes, which makes it perfect for dry martinis. As you can see, the bottle is beautiful too. Very nice to put on the table when you have guests. Of course, the somewhat more exclusive and expensive Tanqueray No. 10 also works well for dry martinis, but I cannot say if it's really better than the regular Tanqueray. However, when it comes to gin, the important thing is that you stick to well-known English premium brands and don't buy anything else. If you buy something else produced somewhere else, you will probably only get disappointed. If you buy some locally produced stuff at some tourist resorts, you might even get sick. Then there's the vermouth. Ypres is a very fine brand, and just like Tanqueray, it's lovely by itself too. So let's get started. A piece of lemon peel and an olive into the chilled glass. One centiliter of vermouth and 6 centiliters of this wonderful gin that has now been in the freezer. Delicious, absolutely lovely as always. So buy the ingredients I've shown you and follow the procedure described in this video, and you will soon be able to sip a perfect dry martini. Thanks for watching, and cheers!